Second part of our journey was at the Grand Canyon, and it's pretty much as you'd imagine. It's a pretty special place.
That's what America's built on. Big ideas. Blue jeans, the Grand Canyon.
The South Rim can be divided up into three sections, if you like: east, central, and west. With the central section being the spot that you would go to if you just had a few hours and want to soak in as much as you can see in a very short time frame.
Let's get your butts in the car. Go.
Don't you want to look at the Grand Canyon?
Great.
This is one of the visitor centres. This is the Geology Interpretive Centre. Pretty amazing. It's built right on the edge of the canyon. You're just looking out, you'll see in a section a big glass window that you can just sort of stand there and look sort of pretty much straight out down into the canyon. Pretty cool displays, little gift shop, and the people are pretty friendly and helpful there as well. And just stand there, it's sort of out of the weather, just looking out across the canyon. It's pretty good spot to visit. The west section's for your walkers. You can get a bus out and hop off and on a bus at different stops sort of thing, but you would be waiting for each bus to you'd get off one bus and have to wait another half an hour at that lookout to go to the next one and so on. I think the trick is a lot of people will catch the bus right out to the very end of the road and then either walk all the way back or walk a couple of lookouts, jump on a bus, jump off and do another lookout or two on the way back. So this part here is where all the condors and things like that are flying around, riding the thermals. Walks down into the canyon itself start from down this end. If you're that way inclined, we didn't walk all the way to the bottom. It looked pretty spectacular, but you'd have to be pretty fit to do it, I think. But beautiful lookouts. You go out on big piers of rock that basically go straight out into the canyon. Very, very narrow. There might be at the end, they might be 10 metres wide, sort of thing, with a walking path down the centre. And you just get great views either side as you walk out. It's beautiful, spectacular all the way through there. But it is for those that want to walk a little bit more. We sort of caught the bus out and then walked 2 or 3 sort of lookouts, maybe jump back on the bus for a lookout or two if the bus had turned up. So we probably walked about half of it, I'd say, but every bit of it was spectacular. There's old uranium mines, that you look down on at this part of the park. Wildlife, we saw elk, squirrels, condors, all that sort of stuff out here. One of the tips that we've got for going to the Grand Canyon is get there early. So this is us heading out after doing the western section of the park, and we got there pretty early, a nice early start. Well, when I say early, probably 7 a.m. or something like that. The Yanks probably prefer to sleep in a little bit longer and not get up and get going in the morning. So for us, 7:30 was a normal sort of a start for this sort of thing. Probably a little bit later than what we do sometimes, but the lineup, even in the afternoon, of people getting into the park was huge. So get early, get a car park, and then just use the buses as you travel around the park. The east section may have been my favourite part of the park. I did enjoy the central and the western sections, but there was just something about the east section. So you go up, you turn right to go out towards the east, and we were heading towards Monument Valley. We were leaving the park this day, and the drive is just great. You're right on the edge of the canyon. You pull into some of the car parks, and you can pretty much park. There's like where you stop your car, a footpath, and then a handrail to the edge of the canyon. So very accessible. You can just sort of sometimes you don't even have to get out of the car. You can just sort of drive up, pull into the car park. You could just about look out the window and see down the canyon, but there's lots of walks along these different stops as well too, so that's great. And you can sort of travel to the east. There's food at the very end of the place called the Watchtower, which is sort of like the last stop as you're leaving the east side of the park. The Watchtower is a big sort of interpretive centre. There's arts, there's restaurants or cafes, and same as everywhere at the Grand Canyon, you know, great views across the big hole in the ground. So Yep, the east section was a favourite, and I think out here we saw coyote, elk, deer, and some sheep, I think.